Hi, I'm John Maher with Reset. This is another STEM activity in our hashtag Reset Tuesday series for adults to work with children at home or by video chat. This week's session we have Reset volunteer Harkiran Singh, who will be leading a session in animation software using Scratch. And this is appropriate for younger as well as older elementary school children. So thank you, Harkiran, and enjoy this activity. Bye.
Everyone, my name is Harkiran Singh, and I volunteer with Reset, a nonprofit STEM organization which gets kids excited about STEM through hands-on activities. And today we're going to be doing a coding activity on Scratch. Scratch is a coding platform developed by MIT students which provides a good foundation for learning code through the code block style coding. So today we're going to learn how to animate your name. First thing I want you to do is go to Scratch, the website, scratch.mit.edu, and you should hopefully see this website. And once you're on, we're going to go to the Create button over here. And you should see this empty platform over here with these tutorials and this and our sprite as well as our commands on the left. So I'm going to give you a quick introduction to our coding platform and then we'll get started. So like I said, over here on the left hand side, it shows this code button, a costumes button, and a sound button. These are where all of our kind of coding commands will go. So we are going to click and drag them over to this middle blank portion over here, which is called the stage, or basically your workspace. And then over here on the right is your stage, which is going to show the end product of all your code. So what we want to do first is get rid of these tutorials over here. And then we're going to navigate over to this trash can over here by the sprite one and just click that. That way everything is empty and we're ready to go. So the first thing we want to do is choose a backdrop, and our backdrop icon is on the bottom right hand side of the screen, right over here. You're just going to go ahead and click that, and I'm going to pick the beach because I've been wanting to go for so long. Alright, so once you've gotten your backdrop, we are now going to pick the first sprite. And since we're going to be animating our name, I want you to go ahead and click on the letter icon, which is the last button, and go ahead and pick the first letter of your first name. So I'm going to get this H, and you can also click and drag it wherever you want on the screen. I have a really long name, so I'm going to drag it to the left side to clear more room. So the first thing we're going to do is change the color of the first letter of our first name. What we want to do first is go to the orange button here called Control. Oh, I'm sorry, the yellow button over here called Events. And what we want to do is click and drag the third command over into our workspace when the sprite is clicked. And basically when you click that, it basically tells the code underneath that to run. Alright, so once you've gotten that, what we want to do is go over to this purple button over here called Looks, and we're gonna, scroll down a bit. Once we find the change color effect by 25, just click and drag that right underneath the when the sprite is clicked command. So this is super simple. We're done with the code that we need to change the color for our sprite, and I'm going to go ahead and click that, and you can see that it changes color. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is make our second letter of our first name spin. So I'm going to go ahead again to the bottom right hand corner of the screen, choose a sprite, go to the letter icon again, grab the second letter of my name and just drag it right next to the first letter. Alright, so this is going to be a recurring theme among all the letters. Like I said, we want to go to the Events panel and click and drag the third command when this sprite is clicked. And since we want to make this letter spin, we want to use the rotation command, but we want to use that command over and over again. And I guess you could put the rotation command like 100 times or 10 times or how many ever times you want the letter to rotate. But something programmers do for efficiency is run something called a loop. So the loop button, we're going to go over to the control panel over here and grab that repeat block. And that's kind of like our loop. So the command for turning is going to go inside that repeat button, and you can even change it. So I'm going to change it to 100, and yep, that is our loop. So now what we're going to do is go to motion, and we want to turn it 15 degrees clockwise. And you can go ahead and change the degree symbol, but I'm going to leave it as it is. So, as you can see, what the letter is doing is it's turning, and it's repetitively turning as well. Awesome. So now we're going to move on to our third letter. And for our third letter, we're going to make it play a sound. Once again, we're going to go to the bottom right-hand side of the screen and the letter icon and pick our third letter. I'm just going to click and drag that over to the A. All right. So we're going to go to Events. Once again, click and drag this third command when the sprite is clicked, and we're going to have it play a sound. So what we want to do is obviously go to that sound button over there, and we're going to click and drag the first command, play sound until done. Alright, I'm going to show you what it sounds like first, but I'm also going to show you how to change the sound. So as you can hear, it's playing the meow sound. You can also record your own voice for this, but I kind of like the custom sounds that they have. So what we want to do to change the sound is, if you see this code button we're on, there's the costumes icon and then there's the sound icon. I'm going to go ahead and click that. You can see that we have the meow over here, but if you want to choose your own sound, you want to go to the bottom left-hand side of the screen and click the button Choose a Sound. And you have all of these sounds to choose from. It's a lot. I'm going to go ahead and click on guitar. And once you click on whatever sound you want, it should show up in your sound bank over here. You can just go ahead and listen to that. Perfect. So I'm going to go over back to my code button over here. And oh, you're probably wondering, where did this sound go? But if you click this drop-down menu, you can see the sound that you picked. Oh, sorry for that noise. Alright, I'm gonna click on our third letter. Yeah, it plays a sound other than the meow. Alright, so for our fourth letter, we're going to make it spin. Once again, bottom right of the screen, choose a sprite, and choose the fourth letter of your name. Where's the K? Right here. Okay. Click and drag that right over to my third letter. Perfect. And we're going to make it spin. Oh, I'm so sorry. We already made it spin. Okay. For this letter, we're going to change its size. Once again, I'm just going to go over to my events, click and drag that third command when this sprite is clicked. And since we want to make our sprite or our letter change size, we're going to go over to the control panel and we're going to put in 2 repeat commands. And I'll explain why in just a second. So since we want it to change size, we obviously want it to get bigger. But if we keep using that first repeat command, so say we didn't have that second one, and we kept on using that first repeat command, eventually the sprite would just get too big for the screen. So that's why we want to use that second repeat command, and we are going to change this to -10. Oops, sorry about that. -10. What's going on? Oh, that is odd. Okay, well, I'm going to just change it to 4 for now. That is so weird. Okay, anyways, now I'm going to go into my motion command. Sorry, my looks. I'm going to go into my looks category, and we're going to change this size. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, I was trying to change the repeat to -10, but you can't repeat something -10 times. All right, what I was trying to say is that we want to change the size by -10 for the reason that I explained earlier. All right, so I'm sorry about that. So we're just gonna click on the letter, and you see that it increases in size and then decreases in size. So let's move on to the next letter. Once again, choose a sprite. I'm going to pick that 5th letter. Perfect. And for this letter, we are going to make it dance. So we're going to use some of the steps that we learned earlier on. So once again, I'm going to go over to the events button, click and drag that 3rd command, and since we want it to dance, we want to make it move right and left across the screen. So I'm not sure if you've learned this in math class already, but if you go over here to this panel right above where it's showing our sprites, you can see the X and the Y. So the X is basically the horizontal distance from left to right, and the Y is the vertical distance from top to bottom. So I'm thinking that the x-axis actually goes from -250 to +250, and the y, I'm not sure what the max value is, but we can check. Oh, okay. So the max value looks like, let's try it out. Alright, so the max y value is -203. But if you can kind of imagine like that plane where you can see the x-axis line going straight in the middle and the y-axis line going straight down. Oh, I kind of want to see. Let's see, 250. Okay, so the max x is 243. Perfect. I'm just going to go ahead and click and drag that back to where it was earlier, and that was just a quick intro to the stage and how the positioning of the letters kind of works, which is kind of crucial for this step. So we're going to go to motion, this blue circle over here, and since we want to dance, we're going to click and drag the first command, move 10 steps. Then we're going to, let's go to sound. We want it to have some music. So we are going to play sound until done. And I already taught you how to change the sound, so you can go ahead and change the sound to whatever you like as well. And since we moved it 10 steps to the right, we want to move it 10 steps to the left. So I wish I could ask you this question, but similar to size, if we're going to increase it by 10, we want to decrease it by 10. So if we're moving our letter 10 steps to the right, what we want to do to move it back to the left is move it -10 steps. And I'm just going to make it play another sound, because why not? Alright, I'm going to change that one. I'm going to go quickly get a new sound from the sound bank. Let's do a saxophone this time. Alright, and I'm just gonna go ahead. Oops. Alright. It sounds really funny. But basically what this letter is doing is moving right and left. 10 steps to the right and negative 10 steps to the left. So I'm actually going to change that. Let's make it a little bit more. Alright, so that is our 5th letter, and we're going to move on to the 6th letter. For the 6th letter, we want it to glide around, and this is where the position of the letter really is crucial. Alright, I'm going to choose spray. Once again, go to letters. I'm sure you know this by now. Drag it right next to my 5th letter. Go to events, click and drag that 3rd command. And what we want to do is we're going to make this letter move 3 times. So I'm going to go to motion. And what we're going to do is click and drag the command glide in a random amount of seconds to this X and Y coordinate. I'm going to click and drag that 3 times. Alright, so this is the coordinate where our letter is at right now. Oh yeah, if I click my sprite, it obviously won't move anywhere because I haven't changed the X or the Y coordinate. So that's what I'm going to do. Let's have a little fun with this. I'm going to maybe do, negative 100 and 199. And we only want to change the middle because we want our letter to move back to where it was before. As you can see, it glides around. Let's try it again. Ooh, that's fun. I'm actually going to add a few more because I just want to see where else we can move it. I'm going to input in a few more numbers and then we'll move on to another letter. I've used so many extreme numbers. Negative 5. Alright, let's do this. That's cool. Alright. So that is how you animate your name. I've gone through a few of these controls that you can do. We first did changing that color. The second thing we did is have the letter rotate. The third thing we did is have it play a sound. The fourth thing we did is have it change size. And the fifth thing we did is make it dance. And the last thing we did was make it glide. If it glides, yeah. Awesome. Okay. So, what I want to do next is quickly show you guys tutorials, and then we're going to move on, and I'm going to show you some exciting other projects you guys can do. So I'm going to go to this tutorials button up here and just show you all these amazing tutorials that they have, and it's like step by step, really clear. Here's what we did just now, animate a name. So I'm going to go ahead and show you another. Alright, let's see. This puppy pet one is really fun. Okay, so this one's called an interactive one, an interactive project. You can have the dog move to the food, then have the dog jump on the trampoline. Yeah, and then move to the rock. So like I said, there's unlimited things to do with Scratch, and animating your name is just the beginning. So thank you for joining me.